My name is Tiago Taylor, and my subject today is wealth disparity in Brazil. Have you ever wondered why Brazil, a country rich in culture and natural beauty, is also home to some of the world's most extreme examples of wealth inequality? The wealth disparity is so extreme that the poor people live in makeshift shacks from bricks and sheet metal, while the rich upper class live in mansions and take weekend trips on their helicopters. The division is so obvious in major cities like Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro that you can see the favelas built right next to luxury high-rise buildings. It's like two completely different worlds, even though they are walking distance from each other. According to the Valor International, Brazil's wealth disparity is among the highest globally. In 2023, the average per capita income of the top 1% was 164 times that of the poorest 5%, highlighting the extreme economic inequality that exists in Brazil. And you might be thinking, why should I care? Or why do I care? Well, the reason why I care is because my mom's side of the family is from Brazil, which is why I chose to speak on this issue. I am very fortunate that I'm in a position to have traveled to Brazil on many different occasions, but I see the same wealth disparity every time I go, which has inspired me to talk out against it. As an example of wealth disparity, when you are driving through the streets of Brazil, you can see homeless families sleeping on the side of the road only a couple blocks away from luxury stores that are selling bags worth tens of thousands of dollars. But it's not just about the money, it's the lack of opportunity. The rich have access to the best education, healthcare, and have all the necessary connections, while the poor are left to struggle to survive, which results to them being stuck in a cycle of poverty that's extremely hard to escape from. And personally, witnessing this firsthand has shown me how divided the country is and how unfair of a system that is in place. And the way to fix this is to increase the spending on education, and the only way to achieve that is to fix the corruption in the government. Brazil is one of the most corrupt governments in the world. They recently had an ex-felon become president of Brazil once again, even though his terms had already been expired, which just shows how severe the case of corruption has become. Right now, the government spends money extremely inefficiently, and lots of it is due to corruption. The public schools are severely underfunded, resulting in the only way to achieve a good education, the kids are required to go to private schools. But the problem with private schools is that many people can't afford private schools because they're barely making enough money to get by. And without a good education system, people in poorer areas don't have a real chance to improve their lives. According to the Open Knowledge Portal, a significant factor contributing to this disparity is the underfunding of public education. A study notes that low-quality education leads to low income, which in turn perpetuates poverty. If Brazil focused on improving schools, providing better job opportunities, and cracking down on corrupt politicians, people in lower income communities could actually have a shot at breaking the cycle of poverty. Right now, there's barely a middle class in Brazil, just the extremely rich and the extremely poor, at two polar opposite ends of a spectrum. If education and government reform were prioritized, it could create a middle class and hopefully stabilize the economy. Although the news isn't all bad. According to The Guardian, to foster change, public pressure is vital. Historically, social movements in Brazil have led to significant reforms, such as the creation of public healthcare systems and educational improvements, such as the establishment of Brazil's unified health system, Sistema Único de Saúde, in 1988, which was a direct result of persistent advocacy by various social movements, especially those led by Black women. These activists highlighted the urgent need for accessible healthcare for all citizens, regardless of socioeconomic status, which shows that one of the best ways to create change is to put pressure on the government officials to take real action. If the people band together, they can't ignore everyone. The problems won't just resolve themselves. So, if us, the people, demand change, the government will have no choice but to listen. And that starts with awareness. More people, both in Brazil and around the world, need to recognize how serious the issue is and push for solutions. The gap between the rich and poor keeps getting worse, and if nothing is done, it will only lead to more instability and suffering. The people of Brazil deserve better, and the time to act is now. Thank you for listening.